My first prop firm payout, it felt amazing. I've been able to scale to multiple 5-figure months. Now I'm easily hitting $30,000 a month. There is no model that can give you a 100% win rate. There's no strategy that can save you. I was trying to create perfect. I think I came pretty close. Faith has influenced my trading in many ways. What's coming to me is coming to me. I just will work hard to get it and I'll let God do the rest. When I start praying, all the noise is gone. My name is Bani, also known as Trade Bani. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Scotland with Pakistani roots. Life in Scotland was good, but I do feel like the way it shaped my ambitions, eventually it turned into a good thing, but at the start I do feel like it was a bubble, and a lot of places in Britain are a bubble where people have this idea of the norm and you really do get made fun of or laughed at for trying to do something that people would consider risky or outside the box. Loads of people I went to school with, they had ambitions to do a lot bigger, but they would never do it because people would make fun of them and laugh at them. I feel like naturally people will always try to impose ambitions on you. I'm grateful because I didn't really let that affect me. I did think about it. I did, dwell on it. Sometimes it upset me and hurt me, but at the end of the day, if you're a man, you need to man up and say, what do I want for my life, and just go for it. I found it very difficult to balance college, working a retail job in Tesco, the ambitions that I had for myself, trading, obviously, even keeping healthy and fit. I was 23 when I got my driving license. When I was 17, 18, all of the guys that I was friends with, they were all driving, they had nice cars, they had jobs, people were going into uni while I was in college. I did feel like very miserable at that time and I felt like nothing was going my way, but I did have a vision. I feel so grateful now, but at that point I found it very difficult to balance all of these things. So I studied journalism at college before I dropped out, and I do think it shaped the way that I think in some ways, although it's something that I didn't end up fully pursuing and something that I didn't actually take a career in. It's always been the one skill that I've always really had. I've been able to talk, I've been able to speak to people, I've been able to write, but in reality, what the deep core of that was curiosity. I've always been curious, which is why I think a lot of people quit trading after a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. But me, I wasn't just thinking about money. Of course I wanted to make money, but I was genuinely curious about figuring out a way to actually understand the market, a way to find a model that is repeatable. And I was curious, just things like backtesting my strategy, looking at days of the week, all of these things. I do think it was just that general curiosity that I've always had, and studying journalism probably did shape that in a way. I'm quite a perfectionist with a lot of things. I tried so hard to bring that perfectionist mindset into the markets, and it wrecked me. Actually, it wrecked me. But as I understood, in trading, there is no such thing as perfect. There is no model that can give you a 100% win rate. There's no strategy that can save you. There's no model that can save you. And because I was trying to create perfect, I think I came pretty close. But it wasn't perfect. Nothing's perfect. I did as much as I could to where I deem is like an actual perfect model, where there's nothing else that I can add anymore. I feel like I've tweaked it as much as I could over the years. I tried to add probabilities into it as much as I could. I tried to add the maths in, lower the risk to reward to increase the win rate. Everything I did was to try and make the maths make more sense for probabilities. And I think I came so close to making a perfect model in a field where there is no such thing as perfect. That was my aim. I would say the most significant risk that paid off was trading prop firms. It was something that when I discovered it, I thought this is too good to be true. And for a while, it didn't take off. It was very difficult to actually master. But I realized that the skill of prop firms, probably the fastest way to actually get rich from trading. After that, you do have the experience, you have the knowledge, and you probably eventually will have the capital to trade with other industries or in other ways, like you could get into private equity or you could trade a personal account. But those, I think, are very unattainable if you don't go the prop firm route today. This is the fastest way, the best way, and it was the best risk that I took. Prop firm model is something that is very different to other ways of trading, But after really understanding it, I've been able to scale to multiple 5-figure months or multi 5-figure months consistently for over a year. And before that, I was still touching 5-figure months. Now I'm easily hitting $30,000 a month. I think the most common mistake I see new traders making is trading lower time frame. I know it might work for some people, but you have to look at the statistics. It is evident that 99% of people fail in trading, and 99% of new people are trading the 1-minute time frame and below, 5-minute time frame and below. If you remove that barrier and you try to make it a little bit easier for yourself to understand, you think you've got a much higher chance of actually making money in trading. How did it feel to get my first prop from payout? It felt amazing. It was a bit scary as well at the same time. I remember getting it. It wasn't like the craziest amount. I think it was a few $100s, which is very, very insignificant to even one payout that I would make now. Although it wasn't a lot, although it didn't change my life, it was just realizing that, okay, cool. I did it once. Let's see how far I can take this. And that's what's ended up happening. I think that we're living in a moment of time right now that people will look back on in 10 years and say, whoa, I wish I got in then. It sounds like a sales pitch, I know, but I'm grateful for this because it really changed my life. This week, I've already got 2 payouts, $3,000 from FTMO, $4,000 from ACG. That's $7,000 this week from sitting in this room, doing things that I like and enjoying my life. I don't have to answer to a boss. I don't have to talk to anyone. It's brilliant. It's a skill that I think everyone that wants to make online money, best skill that you can go for, and you definitely can live off this. Faith has influenced my trading in many ways. It doesn't matter what you do, if it's trading, if it's having a job, if it's going studying, if it's anything in life, faith will play a part on anything that you do. It just gives me peace in a way. It's a very hectic life. You know, you do have ups and downs, you have bad weeks, you have good weeks. And I think that my faith, knowing that everything is written by God, it allows me to just take it slow and say it's fine. What's coming to me is coming to me. I just will work hard to get it and I'll let God do the rest. Generally, I stay focused because in Islam, there's a very strict routine, which is perfect. And I would say because I'm an entrepreneur, I like to schedule everything around my prayer rather than schedule my prayer around everything that I'm doing. So because I know I've got to wake up for sunrise for prayer, and then the afternoon, and then late afternoon, and then sunset, and then night, it makes it very easy to follow, and I get clarity in it. There might be 10 minutes of the day I'm feeling stressed. This is getting to me. I've got this meeting to do. I've got these people to talk to. I'm looking at the charts. I'm doing all of this, and it feels like when I start praying, all the noise is gone. Balancing ambition with peace is so important. I think if you lose track of, you know, your actual life and things that make you, like praying. If you're Muslim, if you're Christian, whatever you are, you should have time for things that give you peace apart from trading or outside of trading. Trading doesn't give you peace. Trading is noise. Trading is hands-on. Trading is emotional. You can't fully go all in on it without like making bad decisions. I know because I've been there. You can't be fully immersed in this. You do need to, and you should be taking time for other things as well. As much as I love Dubai, I think that I could do both. I don't want to say like I will be here forever, because I will miss my family and that means a lot to me. But I'll always be grateful to Dubai because it boosted my career a lot. I love it. I love the lifestyle here. I love the weather. Human nature is like really ungrateful, because when I'm here, I'm like, oh, I miss the cold weather at home. And then when I'm there, I'm like, I hate cold weather. I want to be back in Dubai. So I realized I need to enjoy and love both. My advice is if you want to leave your hometown, do it. Anyone that's holding you back doesn't want you to actually succeed. Obviously, there are people that probably will miss you and they'll say, you know, don't leave, stay close in home, you can get everything here. But if you want to grow in life and you want to get things that you've not seen other people in your hometown do, then you should leave hometown. And your whole nature will change, your environment will change, your idea of normal will change. And I think you'll get so much farther. So I would say do it. The worst that could happen is that you go back home. That's the worst that could happen. So take the risk. When I lived at home, I was a successful trader to an extent. So around me, I was like doing well. And that was my idea of what I can achieve and where I can get to. But then coming to Dubai, I became like a really small fish, and it was like there are people doing way bigger numbers than me, massive payouts. They've got Rolls Royces and everything. I'd met hedge fund managers with like RMs on and stuff like that, and I was like, damn. So I realized it's all about what your perception of normal is. If I stayed home, I would have been classing myself as the best thing ever. But then I came here and I was like, okay, there's so much more work to get done. I want the kid that was exactly like me at 16, 17, searching up how to make money online. I want them to understand and know that they could do it too. Sometimes I get that feeling, why am I making videos? I find it boring. I'm not gonna lie, completely honest, there are times where I'm about to pick up the camera to make a TikTok and I'm just doing it for the sake of it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I remember, I'm doing this because I was the kid that would search those titles up. I was the kid searching up how to make money in trading. So that's what I'm doing it for. It's that version of me, that kid. If you enjoyed this episode of Passionz, make sure to subscribe to Wayond for more.